It connects us. Let's have a look and make sure that it is working. Let's have a look. I do believe we are live. It's
Right
got an
on.
advert which suggests we're live. So we're going to go for it as though we were live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Fix. And I think it's 241. Show 241, ladies and gentlemen. How many years is that? It's like 4.5 years, something like that. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid. And tonight, to celebrate things, we got the man who is always plugged in to the sport of pro arm wrestling. It's the wild horse, Matt Mask. Matt, good to have you back on. It's been a while, hasn't it? Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a bit, I think. I can't remember the last time.
No, bet
So,
it's a year since you were last
yeah,
on.
yeah, you've been avoiding me.
And you
It's
bet,
all
I
good.
know, I still love you though,
It's
mate.
all good. It's all
Still
good.
love you. And you've been a
Yeah.
busy dude in that period of time. Left arm,
Yeah,
right arm, everywhere you
yeah,
look, there's a bit of Matt.
yeah. Hopefully we keep that going. Left arm, right, left, right, left, right. So
So
until the
next
cows
outing,
come home.
mate, you've got. Let's jump straight into the mix with the next one. You're going left again. You've had some pretty impressive left-hand outings. I mean, Zurikashvili was about as exciting as it gets.
Yeah.
Killer matches there. What do you know about Aymeric Prince? What do you know about this kid? Have you done a lot of research on him?
Well, there's not a whole lot out there on him. I know he's a left arm technician compared to his right.
Definitely.
Uh, his left is 10 times better than his left. Um, I know he's got real strong wrist, real strong fingers by the sounds of it,
Hmm.
and looks like he's got a hell of a lock in his bicep. So
Yes, he does.
yeah,
Super sticky. So we've I know Aymeric pretty well. We've had him on Arm Wars a number of times, and left hand, he's no joke. I think this is
yeah,
going to. I mean, a lot of people talking about the card over in Cologne being an incredible card. It's stacked with some talent. I've had some messages asking what I think about the card. And what I would say, everybody's saying it's the best card of all time. Whether you think it is or it isn't, what it is full of exciting matchups and matches that are very hard to predict. And I don't think
mhm,
anyone more so than yourself and America. I think it's a very, very interesting match. And it's one I'm sort of struggling to wrap my head around because you've got that big booming top roll attack that we know. I think you probably initiate better than Americ at the base and in the hook. Pendulum swings to him. Where's your sort of confidence barometer at, mate, lefty, right now? Because your left's a bit like Dev in some respects, isn't it? It can be amazing, and then it can be not quite as amazing. And it's hard to know who's going to show up.
yeah. For I I worry about my left every time I have a match. Doesn't matter who it's against or what, just because it's one of them limbs on my body that just hurts all the time. So I'm not able to. I can do table time. I'll get on the table. I can pull an hour and a half with my right, and or I'll pull an hour and a half, 2 hours on a table, and maybe a half hour of it's with my left arm. And it's never able to go the intensity I'm able to do with my right, even training. I'm always just doing blood flow with it, just trying to recover it for my next one, right? And sometimes it usually takes 3 months, 4 months to recover. Every time I finish one, I'm like, fuck, I was kind of hoping I'd lose that one so they won't ask me again, right? But
Yeah.
so
You've
it's
segued quite well into that, mate, because that's one of the things I wanted to try and go a little bit bigger on tonight in terms of just finding out where your focus is and how much time you invest in your left, because you've always been the right hander. Everybody's known you as the right hander, and the right hand for you has been unbelievable. You've had when you're on, you're really on, and you've run with the best in the world and beaten the best in the world right-handed. The left hand's always just ticked away, but now and again you chip in and you have some really impressive results. And I wanted to sort of dig into that. How much time have you focused on your left? Obviously, you've just told us there shit ton of injuries. Has that always been the way, mate, or is that a recent thing?
it's kind of always been my lesser of the two arms. It never really hurt as much as it has for the last 3 years, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's yeah, like, and like I said, like I maybe 25% of my training goes into my left. Like when I'm doing my workouts and everything like that with weights, I'll just bounce around on my right arm. I'll throw my left in there for one or two exercises just to get a little bit of blood flow, and then it's all concentrating on the right. So just yeah, just the aches, the pains, shit pops in and out of place all the time for some reason. It
Yeah.
just yeah, I just always struggle with it. I honestly don't know how I do what I do when they call my name to the table with the left. Sometimes it surprises the fucking hell out of me. So it's yeah, anytime I can squeak a win anytime in the left, as far as I'm concerned, it's a little gift from the gods, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah, so I've recently just got back from Texas, probably would have been well, 5 days ago now, something like that. 5 days ago, went down, seen Dr. Glenn with an Infinity Functional Performance, and I went and got some treatments, some exosomes, some stem cells, some growth injected into all the areas that have been really bothering me on my left in the last couple of years, and then got a little bit of upkeep too on the right in some of the areas that I tend to struggle with a bit. So it's yeah. So my training for the next another week or so, I'm gonna kind of take it easy. Just a lot of blood flow shit. Uh, no heavy lifting or hard exertions. So gonna do that for another week, and then I've got about probably 10 days where I'm gonna push hard before I do a quick taper for my left hand match with Emmerich. So
So, mate, where are the injuries? Is it nerve damage? Is it muscular damage? Is it tendon, bone? What have you sort of
I
ever had a
would say
scan
it's a
or anything like that?
combination of everything.
Yeah, yeah,
I
just
I don't I've never like I go and see my sports fucking physiotherapist sometimes. He'll give me acupuncture, ultrasound, shock wave, need shit out, show me stretches, stuff like that. But I've never gotten ultrasounds or anything done to it.
yeah.
So I don't have fucking time for that shit. So unless it's really, 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 really fucking bad, I don't really bother much with doctors in general, right? So yeah.
What about the bias in your club, mate, in the Red Deer team there? Because a lot of people may not know, but you got some pretty solid arm wrestlers in the vicinity and that you've brought up. And I got to say, Matt, before I forget to say this, every time, and I mean every time, for the last 10 years that I have ever spoken to anybody that comes to your club, the first thing that they talk about is what a killer dude you are to train with. And I'm not kidding. I'm blowing smoke up your ass. That is a fact. Everybody that I've ever spoken to that said they've been to train with you in a 10-year period has started off by saying that you are amazing to train with. So, got to commend you on that, mate. It's a
Well,
you hear it
it's
from a lot of people
practice,
over a
right?
lot of years.
I think a lot of people forget that practice is just that, and it's practice. It's about getting better. It's not about bringing your ego in and throwing it around the room and who's the bigger dog, right? Like it's if you're a stronger opponent, you let people get more things and you try to work for it back, right? That's how you're going to get better. You're not going to get better, and your teammates aren't going to get better by going and just smashing everybody all fucking day long. All you're going to do is
Yeah.
you're going to hurt people, you're going to discourage people, and ain't nobody going to fucking learn anything. You're not going to learn anything either, right? Like if you're winning all the time, you'll learn way more from a loss or trying to pull yourself back from a shitty position than you will smashing people and winning all day every fucking day, right? So,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, nevertheless, mate, super commendable in that respect. I always think that you find out the measure of the guy from the people that work with him and the people that have trained with him know him very closely in that regard. And you got a glowing resume from everyone. And so to look at
well, I got a good group. I got a good group of guys, right? So,
how many have you got, mate?
there's anywhere from an average night, there'll probably be about a dozen of us.
Yeah,
But we have sometimes there'll be 20, 25 people show up, right? So there's about probably 40, 45 that are on the list. But, it's busy in Alberta, right? So it's
yeah,
everybody's usually out of town doing stuff. So to get everybody at the same place at the same time, and especially with my work schedule, I don't have set days of the week where I can do practices just because of my work schedule. So it's usually only at best sometimes a 24-hour notice before we have a practice, right? So which is good. All the guys are great that way, right? So nobody's
And
bitching
are
that
you
there's.
sort of the catalyst for that, Matt, in terms of setting up the training and when you sort of the nucleus of that thing?
Yeah, well, because it's like I've turned my detached garage into our training facility, right? So
Yeah,
that is the Red Deer Arm Wrestling Club. So yeah, so whenever I know I'm able to do, I try to do one every second day if I could.
yeah.
So every other day I'll host a practice if I'm not busy or I'm not working or out of town or traveling or doing whatever. But it's usually every second day I'll host one if I'm around. But sometimes I'm only getting two. Sometimes I'll get three practices a week. The odd week, if we're really busy with work and stuff, we'll get one in, right? But
And is
so
this
we
at the place you showed me where the lake is?
no, that's my cottage. That's my I guess summer house you can call it or whatever, right?
Okay.
So I go there for a summer. Every summer I go there for at least a month. Try to spend time. That's where I get to relax, right?
That place is
So so
just
this
stunning.
is oh, it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, but no, this is my house that I live at in Red Deer, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and
And
then I got two other houses, but I've turned them into Airbnbs, right? So I'm constantly, you can all my good friends call me Laundry Matt, right? Because I'm
I
fucking
love it.
I'm doing laundry
Absolute
all
class.
day, every fucking day that I'm not working. I'm home.
Mhm.
Usually I'll pump off sometimes 15 loads or more a day, right? So,
I know you
so
sort of offshore quite a bit now, or do you not do that so much now?
mm, no, I'm still working the rigs, but it's not offshore, right? Like it's on land. Like I'm actually working right now. And you can see
Okay.
the rig right there. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
running some casing in the ground. We finished picking up our tools this morning.
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna take all our tools home and then we got to set them, cement the well. So,
And
but
basically that the governance of your time in the week or how many days your week, what are you like shifts or are you just 7
I'm on
days?
an 18 days on, 6 days off schedule,
Okay.
but I don't work every day. It all depends on when a rig TDs a well and when they need a guy out, or if they're fracking a well or need a guy with tools or something like that, right? So I'll work
Yeah.
on average. I'll say I work about probably 10 to 12 of those 18 days. So like I'll be gone. I'll be gone from home for 24 to sometimes 48 hours, 56 hours. And
Yeah.
then I'll be home for a day, sometimes upwards of 3 days, sometimes only one day, and then back to work for a day or two, home for 2 days, gone for three, home for four kind of deal, right? So
Mhm.
so it's always between my work. Work comes first, and then after work it's the tournaments, right? And then I'm competing at, and then it's arm wrestling practice and fit everything else in between there, right? So
And you're definitely a guy that's always thrown yourself very clearly into every part of your life, whether it be work, whether it be sport and family life, other stuff. It's fair to say that you've had years when you've had all sorts going on in your life and have been less focused, and then years where you seem to switch on and be able to really wrap your head around the game again. And when you do that, you're something special. But one thing you never seem to lose, mate, is that absolute otherworldly electric vibe that you take to every show that you get in. I mean, I was talking about the other day. I was on here with Luke Pulcher. So Luke was on doing his Deep Inside the Minds, and we were talking about just the review of Vienna of the 22 gig and the way that the rooms switched on again when you have you know what I mean. You have your peak matches. Match room goes up, comes down. Room goes up, comes down. There was like a noticeable pulse of electricity shot around that place like you can't imagine when you came on stage. It went absolutely nuts. Whole place rose up. Are you aware of that, mate? Are you even conscious of it or not?
it is kind of tunnel vision for me, but like the energy in the room, like you feel it, right? It's in your core. It definitely amplifies everything. The more eyes you have on you, the more the crowd screaming, the more they're engaged. it just instills everything in the direction that it needs to be going, right? So, and it gives you more push, more drive, you know. So, like, nobody wants to look like a fucking fool in front of 3,500 people, right? You know.
You never
So,
have,
but
never. I mean, mate, you talk about arm wrestlers that are endearing and that are loved by the fans. You got to be up there. I
mm,
mean, there's a reason why you're so popular and people want you on the cards all the time because you really do inject venom into the events, mate. And I think the whole of arm wrestling owes you a debt of gratitude for that. You really do switch the place on, Matt. And I wanted to sort of dig into your motivation now, level of motivation, and what's keeping you rolling in that respect. Where are you at with it now, mate? Because you have had these peaks and troughs. You've been right up there at the title shots. You've dropped out of contention a little. You always seem to bounce back and fire straight back in to that mix, and you have constantly impressive performances. Where are you at, sort of, in terms of your own motivation?
right now, I'm more motivated than ever right now, actually, just with the direction everything's going. It almost seems surreal some days, just with the direction that it's going and the
Mm,
direction that it feels like it's going, and where, like, just the way everything's unfolding. Like, it's absolutely insane, right? Like, and a huge eye opener for that was 22 in Vienna. Just the fucking crowd, right?
yeah,
Like, I remember, like, I was talking about this the other day, where it was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we were doing WL. There's 50 arm wrestlers that showed up to watch the event because they had their friends, and everybody knows each other, to hang out afterwards.
yeah,
And then there was 300 people that were paid to be in the crowd to make it look like there was more people there.
yeah,
And now it's like there's like 150, 200 arm wrestlers in the crowd, but there's like 3,000 people that have never fucking stepped foot on a table a day in their life, and they just love the sport and love the names and love the camaraderie. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's very, very fucking surreal, right? Just trying to constantly feel like I'm pinching myself to make sure that this is all actually fucking real, right? So, and there's been so many ups and downs over the last, I'd say, probably 7 years. I've been dealing a lot of shit with personal life, everything like that, right? When when two family members decide to go their own direction, you know what I mean? It can cause a lot of question in oneself and everything
yeah,
like that, right? And you try to make things work, and if it doesn't, and you still end up going your separate ways, it's tough on somebody, like, huge mentally. And if you're struggling mentally, it doesn't matter how good you look physically, nothing's going to work properly, right? So, like, you can almost pretty much pinpoint every single time shit was going on with me, right?
yeah,
like
yeah,
like it's pretty comical, actually. But I don't know, I feel like I'm in a really good place. Kind of found a happy bounce to be able to, still still have a good relationship with my family. Like, my kids, they'll always mean the world to me, regardless whatever direction, you know what I mean, two people decide to go. The kids are always going to come first, right? So, I think we've getting to a good place on that. And it's just the amount of peace I'm feeling, kind of,
yeah,
in myself, right? So, for a long time, I was questioning everything. I wasn't quite sure, you know what I mean? Shit didn't feel right, constantly having anxiety, feel like stepping on eggshells, stuff like that. And it's for the first time in a long time, I'm kind of just, everything's really starting to mellow out. Everything's kind of starting to fall into place. Opportunities that I had only dreamed of 10 years ago are all starting to present themselves. The hard work, where just head down, ass up for the last 20 some years, is kind of really all starting to work its way back, right? So I'm in a really good place now mentally, and I don't know, I'm trying to not to look so much into the future as I always used to before, and how can things get better, how can it be, because there's so many good things that are happening right now. I'm trying to slow my ass down and actually learn to be able to enjoy everything that's happening around right now as opposed to worrying about what the fuck is going to happen in the future, right? So,
Mate, it's interesting you say about the family thing and your kids and what they mean, and that's been very evident. I've been lucky enough to meet your daughters when they're over at events with you. Your girl was at this last show with you, and it does seem
mm,
to be almost like, what's the right word? Like a calming effect on you in a way. You seem very, very chill,
yeah,
very
I
relaxed with
feel
a match.
just relaxed. Obviously, it's a different situation when they call my name to the table,
Oh,
but it's
quite
you
fascinating that, mate.
still, we all have demons. We have those little things that have aggravated us, piss us off or whatever. And
Mm.
I've really come to, like, when I was younger, my younger days, I used to just fly off the handle anytime fucking something would happen. I'd fucking, you'd know exactly how I was fucking feeling, right?
Mhm.
And with age, I've learned to really kind of control and just take it and put it away. You know what I mean? Put it away. And unfortunately, when they call my name to the table, that's when all them little things that have bothered me in the past, bothered me in the previous couple of weeks, anything else, I just kind of bundle it all up. I put it in a pot. I stir the shit out of it, and I fucking let it boil, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I try to let it all out. So
I think it's
so
healthy for
arm wrestling has been more beneficial to me than I can ever imagine, right? Just
yeah,
to
mentally.
just to release, it gives me that outlet, you know what I mean? Where you can let it go, so then you can be calm and more present for the rest of your life, right?
What do your
So,
daughters say when you're on stage, mate? Because it must be quite a because the reason I say this because everybody that meets you, they always say, "Oh shit, Matt's so different off the table. He's super chill, he's quiet, he's laid back, horizontal." Then he gets up there and it's like he's just not like he's swallowed a bottle of nitroglycerin, just goes fucking nuts. When your daughters experience that, any comments, their feedback? What's the
my oldest daughter doesn't really like it.
ha
She's like, I
ha?
don't like seeing you like that. She's like,
Yeah.
because that's not you. She's like, so it kind of puts her a little on edge because he's like, what the fuck, right? So and then my
Yeah.
my middle daughter, she's always saying, I don't know, it's weird because that's not who you are, right? Like, it seems like it's a completely different person out there, and it's hard for me to remember that, realize that it's my father and my youngest. I think I think she just fucking loves it, right?
Amazing contrast in the
She
kids.
gets all excited and pumped up and like, yeah, fuck them up, right? So,
Yeah,
you know,
amazing. Do you
so,
think do you ever talk to them about it when they say like, "Oh, that's not you"? Do you ever engage with them on that and sort of talk about is it you? How much of is it you? What's how much are you
well,
entertaining
I
the crowd and how much
question. I'm
is
like, oh, what do you mean that's not me? Like, why do you say that? Well, it's because it's not. Like, that's so not you. That's not who we know, right? It's
yeah.
you don't you don't freak out the way you do. Like, they're like, yeah, it just looks like you're possessed, right? So,
Do they play
yeah.
sports, Matt?
My youngest does, yeah. Yeah. All three of my daughters kind of play rugby a little bit, right? My youngest was always kind of the more competitive when it comes to sports. She's a lot
Yeah.
more athletic than the other ones, kind of really enjoys it more.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No interest in
So,
the sport of iron arms, though, no. None of them want
they
to.
all did arm wrestle a little bit when they were younger, right?
Mhm.
But it's they're I think my youngest did it when she was 16, 17. I think she won provincials the one year, but they don't train for it. They don't really have a huge passion for it, right? They
Mhm.
love the trips, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they love the trips. I'll be bringing my youngest with me to Germany when I go, and then the next time we go to Europe, I'll probably bring the middle one. So
Yeah.
every year I try to take turns, right, with
Sure.
each one of them, bring them on a trip overseas if I could. So,
Yeah, that's great. And it's not like you
yeah,
say, it's real life experiences. It's worth a lot, isn't
yeah.
it? You know.
Well, you never know. Like, I don't know. You don't know what the future is going to bring, right? How accessible traveling is going to be in 5, 10 years from now, right? Or where they're going to be financially, or what they're at with their career, or anything like that. So I'm trying to take them as much as I can now, just so at least they've been able to experience different parts of the world, right? So
Sure.
in case they're not able to do it on their own later on in life, right? So
You got a pretty hardcore crew, Matt, over in Red Deer.
mhm.
Let's just sort of focus on the level in your club and the sort of development and evolution of your club. Obviously, a lot of people will have seen familiar faces with you. I'm going to say Sean, probably the most
Yeah.
familiar in
Yeah,
terms of.
Sean comes with me. I was gonna say everywhere, but he's last year and a half there was two that he wasn't able to make it to because of work and stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, he's pretty much with me everywhere I go. Dakota as well. He's come on probably about 40% of the trips that we've taken, so
Yeah.
he likes to come along. So,
Yeah, he was in Istanbul, wasn't he? He was over in Turkey when we were out
mhm.
there. He's been obviously the US one's been in Europe now. Uh,
Yeah,
he's at
and
Cologne.
neither of those guys are ever scared to challenge themselves, right? Like they don't care. They wanna pull the best. They wanna all the big names, all the big tournaments. They want to get out there and pull everybody and anybody and see where they're at, gauge themselves, so the next time they go to pull them, they can see where they're at. Like they've all got the perfect mindset for it. They're all dedicated just as much as I am, if not more. You know what I mean? So like it's yeah, like they're a really good crew. There's a couple other good guys. Caleb is really strong. We got some, you know, Victor Belov. He's from Calgary. Comes up, trains with us sometimes. Ali Himadeas. He's hit and miss on how he performs, but when he performs, he's a hell of a performer. In between those days, you kind of don't really want to talk about it, but so
Yeah,
yeah, we
man.
got we got some young kids that are coming up too. Devin's starting to get a little better. We got Gavin. Gavin is probably, I'd say, under 18 years old, probably number two in Canada right
Wow.
now. The kid is just, yeah, he's insane. He's 16 years old and fucking like grown ass men will come up to the practice with us or whatever, and they're maybe only a couple weeks into it, but he's just hanging on to him, toying with him, like, oh, how old is this guy? Right? How long you been doing this? 3, 4
Hmm.
years? And oh yeah, how old are you? And he's 16, and their jaws just drop, right? So because he's starting to compete now. We're not letting him pull youths anymore. He's just pulling amateur men's. He's already won his
What
first
what weight, Matt?
amateur men's. He's a 200 pounder.
Okay.
Yeah, big
Tall
kid,
kid.
right? Like he's a big kid. He's 200 pounds now, but he's probably going to be a 250, 260 pounder when he fills out, right?
Okay. So is he
Yeah.
very tall or is he just unit?
He's thick, right? We call him beefy boy. He's probably about 5'10" ish, something
Okay.
like that. But he's already 200 pounds, just a thick kid, right?
Yeah,
So
powerful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, going to be a monster. He's got a younger brother too. That's a big boy too. If he was a little more dedicated, he'd be phenomenal as well. So, but
Has there been a real evolution or change in the club in terms of the format of the club? Have you seen an influx of new guys, younger guys? Has there been a change in the dynamic and in the sort of setup of the club in the last, let's say,
it's
post COVID?
No, it's kind of been very similar, even pre-COVID to what it is now. Like there's a few more newer people showing up, right?
Yeah.
But we run a distinctive arm wrestling club. Some people don't really enjoy it. I run it more as like a gentleman's club, right? They'll come in here. You don't have to watch your fucking language. You don't have to,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Fucking, you want to drink a beer, have a beer. You want to smoke a cigarette, smoke a cigarette. You want to spark up a lefty, have at her, right? You know what I mean? So, so for the younger crowd, I think it's probably kind of detoured some of the younger youths or whatever. Some of the parents bringing their youth along,
Yeah.
but it's yeah, it's more of like a tighter knit kind of group. We don't have massive numbers, but everybody that does show up are all pretty well connected with each other, right? So, and everybody that trains in our club wants everybody else to succeed, right? The more people in your club are succeeding, the more you're going to succeed as a member yourself, right? So
How do you approach, and I mean from a club perspective, how do you approach forthcoming super matches for you? Because one of the difficulties that you would always have as the most senior member of a club, strongest athlete at the club, is that there's nobody really on your level from a just pure top end perspective. So to work you and you're the other thing that's really important there is you're such an attacking focus in terms of the style. How would you ordinarily approach the event? So let's take Zirakashvili, for example. How did you approach that? Did you watch tape of him? Did you train very specifically? Did you set up drills to mimic him? How did you go about it?
No, it was more just trying to rehab my fucking left to make sure that it was as healthy as it could be when I went to compete. I wasn't sure, like I heard his left hook was a little better, but I was fairly confident with what I was capable of doing with my
Yeah,
hook. So I really wasn't sure how it was going to go. I wasn't so much concentrating on what he did and how he arm wrestles. Time I tend to do that, I kind of blow it.
yeah,
So I've been concentrating a lot more on myself and how I arm wrestle and how I'm going to get to the positions that I want to get to, regardless how that person's pulling. And if I have to, then I'll make adjustments as I need. I'll try to attack at a different angle, or I'll try to adjust my hand position, or
yeah,
try to catch as opposed to hit. But it's my biggest issue with pulling a lot of these newer guys. I like to kind of feel them out. So I don't come in just firing out of the gate lots. Like what I'll do is I'll kind of hang on. I kind of try to get a feel. And I think that fucks me because you let anybody at this level get anything and it's could be a bad day for you, right? And then it mentally fucks me unless I can pull myself out of that. So I'm trying to
mm,
concentrate a lot more on coming out of the gates hotter when it comes to, Poland, obviously at the East versus West and everywhere along that level. So, but like as for training, well, I'll just I'll slowly stay on the table longer and longer and longer, and everybody will just kind of just take turns, right? And then
yeah,
as it gets closer, and I start trying to get more power, more build up, where I'm trying to peak more towards getting close to a match. We'll set up, and I'll have more experienced guys like Dakota, Sean, fucking Caleb, or Jeremy or one of them guys. They'll grab onto me, and then we'll wrap a band around it. And then one guy will be hanging on to the band, and then the other guy's hanging on to me as if he's arm wrestling, right? So then this
yeah,
way we can work all those different areas where I can actually put out, 100%, and I'm getting resistance as opposed to just going one way, right? So, or I'll let myself get beat down enough, or I'll let everybody get the positions they need, work for it back, and you get enough numbers on them where then
leveler.
I'm
Yeah,
able to try a little harder, right? Someone like Sean or Caleb will kind of sit off in the back a little bit, and then as I start to get petered down, then they'll jump in on me, right? So
yeah. Do you think you've evolved, changed, developed as a puller, mate, or do you think your
I
style
think
has been relative?
you're always evolving, you're always developing as an arm wrestler. If you're not, then people are going to figure your shit out. You know what I mean? You're going to be a one trick pony. Like I obviously, yeah, I'm a fucking I'm a master in my fucking position where I like to pull,
Yeah,
but I've learned to become a jack of all in order to be able to at least try to get me to that position, right?
sure.
Whether depending on who I'm arm wrestling or their style or whatever, there's different ways where you can grip up with somebody where you're still going to be able to get to that position, or you can turn them into a position where it's going to make them vulnerable. Then you can attack all their weak spots, right?
Yeah,
So I'd say I'm definitely becoming a lot more developed. So like I'm constantly training my hook a lot more. I'm working on transitioning to a press a lot more and everything else, right? So there's a lot more things I got that are working, really starting to come into play that I don't know if they're quite at the East versus West level yet, but if if it's something I can use where if somebody's level is a little less in one area,
yeah.
then I can exploit it with the shit that I'm learning, right? And
Yeah,
and
so
I'm
if you've got a
hoping
bit of
within a
burn
couple
on them.
years, my hook, my press, my everything else that I'm working on is at the level I feel that my top roll is, right? So
Kind of reminds me like a prime Chuck Liddell in the UFC, where he was great at knocking people unconscious, but he was also incredible at standing up. You couldn't hold the
yeah.
dude down. So
Yeah.
that was it's an underrated. It may not have been the best on the ground, but he was bloody good at getting up and then knocking your teeth out again. So if you
Yeah.
could get something that you can throw in there that unsettles people, it's a hell of a B game to have. What's your longer term aspiration here, Matt, in terms of we've seen you pull at 115, you've talked a lot about the 105 class and where you sit in there. And I gotta say, mate, for such a big bloke, your frame is massive. I mean, undeniably. But when you're at the 115s, you're a very different looking lad. You really do look very, very different to when you're such a tall guy. When you slim down to 105, you almost look a little too light, and yet it seems to be where you enjoy arm wrestling. I wanted to ask
Hmm.
why.
I because it's hard for me to get up to the 115. Like
Fair enough.
I want to be if I'm pulling 115, I want to weigh in at 253 pounds or 115 kg
Mm.
and cut from 118, 120.
Okay.
That's what I want to do, right?
So what are you like
So
6'6"? You got to be that.
yeah, 6'5.5", 6'6", but
Mm.
anything once I hit 245, it's just a struggle for me to put on weight after that. Like I'll eat and then my job, I'll get a little distracted doing some shit, I'll miss a meal and fuck I lose all my fucking gains. Right? So I can I can get up to like 249, I'll miss a meal or two, come do a job, I'll go back home and I weigh 241 pounds.
You're like my
And
antichrist.
it'll take me like a week and a half to get back up to 248, 249 again, right?
It's
So it's yeah, it's just my metabolism is just too quick. Like I I don't know. I've tried for years. I've set alarms. So I'd wake up in the middle of the night and eat a fucking half a pizza, mix some bowl full of cereal and milk, and go back to bed and do that 2, 3 times in the middle of the night. And it's the more I eat, the more I fart and the more I shit. Right. So it just goes fucking through me. So I feel if I can maintain my weight around like there's a couple times where I was pulling 105 and I was keeping my weight around that 235-ish, 236 mark, and then I cut a couple of pounds. But I'm really concentrating now on trying to keep my weight more around that 244 to 245 mark
mm.
and then doing a proper weight cut, water cut, where I can weigh in at 231 pounds, but then competing again at 240, 242 pounds, right? So
Yeah. And in terms of the aspiration longer term, where do you want to be? What's your if you could write your own script, if Robert and Dexter said, Matt, you know what, mate? Open season, take your pick. Script me out your next 3 to 5 matches. What arm and who? Who are the guys that you want to that you're really focused on? Who's the people that will get you motivated and get you?
I'd like to pull Yoshi in the right. I know Yoshi's ranked behind me in the right,
Okay.
but I'd still like to pull Yoshi. Just because I think Yoshi is drastically underranked. And I feel that Yoshi should be in the top five.
Mm,
And if you are able to pin and get a pin on Yoshi, that puts you in that top tier of respected fucking pullers right now for the
mm-hmm.
105. So I'd love to pull Yoshi, and I think it'd be fucking entertaining as hell. So, and I
I
kind of
think
want to test. I want to test everywhere that I've been working on to capitalize against the Kings move, finish with a press and everything else that you need. See how I've developed it or whatever. I want to pull Yoshi. Like to pull Yoshi. After that, possibly a fucking rematch with Nugo.
on the
Fucking
Yoshi
settle
for
that
a
fucking
second, mate.
score.
Let's just stop on
Hmm.
Yoshi for a second. I know you've bounced that out when we've been on stage a couple of times. Have you ever? Don't get yourself in trouble, right, if you can't talk about this. But have you ever had any like more detailed conversation behind the scenes on the Yoshi thing? Anybody engaged with you on it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. So
Is it warm?
it's pretty hot. Yeah, it's starting to smolder.
Nice. Yeah,
So yeah,
because
so we could end up seeing that soon. I'm
he's the
hoping.
kind of dude that doesn't avoid anyone.
Yeah.
So you got to think that when you're calling him out on stage, he's going to be like getting a bit twitchy.
Well, and realistically, like he would have everything to gain, nothing to lose. because I'm ranked higher than him,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? It's a win-win situation for him. Like
Mhm.
realistically, I shouldn't even be calling him out. But I don't know. I think his style. I think he's a better puller than where he is ranked.
Yeah.
So, and I want to get a little redemption for John. Him smacking John around on his last fucking retirement match. You know what I mean? Like what a dick, right? What a dick. Couldn't have given a round or two up. You know what I mean? So hey, like fuck that guy, right? Hey. So
It, mate, I know what you mean in that, obviously Yoshi, but I know you're taking the piss and Yoshi's a lovely lad, but it was a bad way to go out for John. That didn't sit right, did it?
yeah, yeah.
Just didn't sit right. So,
No, no. Well,
uh,
hopefully that's not the end of it, right? Hopefully we see him back again. Hopefully that crowd. I know he was pretty impressed with the crowd. He's like, man, like holy shit, this is really starting to become the real deal, right?
it was ace.
So
It was
you
really
could
good.
see, you could see, you could see the sparkle in his eye a little bit, right? Just seeing the crowd, feeling the energy and everything from everybody.
I
So
was
maybe
saying the
we'll
other
see him
day,
again. Maybe we'll
we had
see him again, right?
I
So
had a chat with him when we were backstage, and I said, mate, you should come out of retirement and we should go at it one more time. And he said, mate, you get back in arm wrestling, I'll come do it again. And I thought the same. I thought, oh, he's thinking about it,
yeah,
if he could get fit. So you never know. But I had the feeling prior to that he was mentally done. He just didn't want it anymore. I don't know.
yeah.
It can change. He's a complex character, John, and I hope. Main thing is he
Like
stays
his
healthy.
hand is still ridiculous. Like
Oh,
you
yeah,
shake his hand, and it's still like
yeah,
he's still got a turkey leg for a fucking thumb, right?
yeah,
Like
ridiculous.
it's insane.
It
So
really is. So talk to me about Nugo Shikadze. You were just
yeah,
saying a moment ago before I got you back onto the Yoshi thing that you'd like redemption from against him as well. How was that whole thing?
like what do you mean?
Well, he's kind of he's kind of one of those dudes when he arm wrestling, he grates the side of you, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Nugo
Mm,
really rubs it in, and I know that's gonna piss you off.
it
And he's
kind of
that
bothers me.
kind of guy.
I wish I had known now what I knew then prior to pulling him. Like like it's no excuse. He had a better day that day. I'm not gonna come up with excuses. I'm not gonna deflate anything on what is. He had a better day that day, and I will never underestimate that little fucker again. So
Quite an
I
awkward lad
would.
to pull, isn't he?
He is very very awkward, and he's a lot stronger than he looks.
Yeah, he's really strong.
He's way way stronger than he looks. So that's something I'd like to get back. Just to love to pull that because then it's still that what I mean. I'm beating somebody in the top fucking five, and then I want my title shot. So I want to crack at fucking Oleg. So
If you look
yeah.
stylistically in the division across the 105s, who are the dudes that you think you match up best with? Is there anyone that you look at in that top, let's say top five then? Who do you think
Well, it's hard to
stylist?
say because there's a few people I don't think that should even be in there anymore, right? So
Give me the
because
name.
you got Devin ranked number two,
Yeah.
like just
Okay.
just competed for the fucking super heavyweight. First of all, Oleg would never beat fucking Devin, so how the fuck can Devin be ranked below fucking Oleg? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like if he's not the fucking champion, he shouldn't be in the fucking class. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Then he's not even concentrating. Nothing in his eyes is screaming or talking 115 or 105 for the next year. His eyes
That's
and
it.
his
I
sights
agree. I
are
agree.
on a way bigger fucking project right now, right?
Yeah, I suppose a massive amount, mate. It's gonna depend on what we're about to see, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because maybe just
true. If
maybe,
if Vitali fucking spanks him like he does his left,
maybe.
you might see Devin go, okay, this ain't worth it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? What I'm what I'm what I'm putting myself through in order to be
Mm.
able to climb that mountain again isn't fucking worth it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure like there's a little part of me, I'm sure there's a little part of you And I know there's a massive part of Jody that probably hopes that's what happens, right? You know what I mean? Just so we know
Fair.
we have our friend here to walk the earth with us that many more years,
That's
right?
fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
On the other token, I want to see him fucking succeed in everything that he's putting his mind towards.
I'm,
I don't want to see him put this effort that he's put in for the last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years,
yeah.
and just to be a waste. I want to see something come of it, right?
Yeah.
So, but but a huge part of me would love to see him fucking take over that 115 kg class and just start fucking running through everybody. You know what I
Here's
mean?
a question for
And
you, Matt.
have a healthier fucking Devin that we're all going to be able to get to enjoy for another decade to come. You know what I
Which
mean?
matches would you want to see most, though? Let's just talk about a couple of individuals. So, and I'm talking about crowd draw, and also a little bit of that you just talked about in terms of the level in the score thing. So, two names that I can't get my head around. I mean, it's got to happen, and it would be super heavyweight. Number one, Morozov.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
absolutely.
got to happen. It's one of those matches
Both
that,
arms.
yeah, and
Both
if it,
arms.
I'll give you that, both arms. So Morozov left, Morozov right, and if it didn't, it'd be kind of like, you got to do it. I actually think the same, both arms, Camille as well,
Yeah.
because the left. I mean, you were in the room. You know what I mean? You were there.
Yeah,
The
I was
left's
there.
a bigger match now than it's ever been, just because of the bit of
100%.
legend of what happened at the Gathering 2. At Arm Wars Gathering 2. That was an interesting day, god damn it. But also the right. Camille has leveled up big time. So I do feel like those particular matches, Jablonski and Ayrton Morozov, would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Devon's been known to go right down, come back up, but you kind of feel like it's a strike while the iron's hot moment. Or I do anyway. I say we, I do. I don't know. Jodie probably gonna fucking lynch me when she sees me now. But I do think that those are matches that I'd like to see,
Oh,
regardless
absolutely.
of Ali,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, I think that's matches that everybody wants to see,
Mm.
especially Morozov, right? Especially there's a little bit of bad blood there too, right? So
Yeah. And it
yeah.
sells. And
Mm,
also forget the sort of forget the promoter angle. I know that Devon wants he fucking
yeah.
definitely wants to do that. So
Yeah.
that's what's in my mind. Obviously, we've got Devon on tomorrow. So Devon's actually coming on for a 1-to-1 tomorrow night. So we'll pick that up. He'll be very interested in what you had to say, as he always is. Sean Crowther is in the chat. Sean, how you doing, mate? What a dude. He's just come in with a super chat. He's put, yeah, yes, Neil, we need to get both you and John back on the table. Mate, there's very, very few people that have got an interest in arm wrestling again. But I'm going to say John Brezink is one of them. So if
Mhm.
John Brezink wanted that, then yeah, let's go. It's John Brezink, for Christ's sake. It's going to happen. We've done it a lot of times. Why not one more? We'll see. So let's talk about you, man. So other names, mate, that are out there, because I'm going to throw one your way that I'd be quite interested in terms of the old, yeah, it's not your weight class and all like that. But what about Todd Hutchins?
Yeah, I'd love to pull Todd too. Todd's ranked above me, right? So absolutely, he's still ranked in the 105. So
Yeah.
he's somebody I'd like to pull too. I'd like to pull everybody that's ranked above me that is actively competing in that class.
Am I
So
right in saying that the only time you and Todd have met was the WL?
that was the only time we ever gripped up with each other yet.
Yeah. So that's kind of
We've
all.
never even, I don't think we've ever even practice pulled
I
with
didn't
each
I
other.
didn't think you had. It's one of
No,
those things that you've been in the room so many times together, and I don't ever recall seeing a visual of it at all.
no, never have.
Mm.
No.
So another one, another seed to plant. But there's a lot of new guys coming into that division as well, and possibly guys that are sticky that might be really interesting for you. Any of the other Eastern Bloc lads that you've got your eye on?
Uh I'd like to pull Rackley in the right as well. I think
Oh,
I think that would be a crowd drawer for sure.
yeah, that's interesting.
So I
How
think it
would you
would
feel
be, and
about
then
that, Matt? Are you a favourite or are you an underdog in many people's mind, you feel?
uh like how do I feel, or how do
Yeah,
I think other people feel I feel?
both.
Uh I think it all depends on who you talk to, right? I think all depends on, you know what I mean, what matches people are watching or which
Yeah.
ones they're going off of, right? So, so I would say, I think in my mind, I think it's a very close match. I think it could be very close. It could go either
Mhm.
way, but I would like to think I'm the fucking favorite. So, I would say towards majority of the Georgians and the Europeans, they would say Irakli's the favorite, right? So, but
Interesting, because it's the you know what I'm like with my styles make matches thing, and I think that's stylistically a great matchup
you know,
because of the fact that I mean, yeah, I know you all do other stuff, and we've seen a little bit more from Irakli recently, where he started to really expand his game a little bit, and he's brought the press in there, and he's got a little bit of the Todd roll going on now and again. But we all know what he does and what he wants to do, and we all know
mhm,
that he prefers to have that hand control, and particularly against a guy as venomous as yourself when you get that winning position. Someone who hits so erratically and so hard. I do feel like it'd be much more difficult to contain and press or contain and transition to a press with you. And I think he'd want to stick to his top roll lane, strap top roll. And that for me makes it that's why it's so interesting. Because you're pretty violent in your attack. And I think that and you're bigger, like a lot bigger. So you gotta remember, he came from 75 kilos.
yeah,
So he's got a decent frame, but not a giant frame. You've got a massive frame. So I just think you set a lot of problems there for him, and I'd love to see that match.
yeah. That's somebody I'd like to pull. I'd like to pull him. I think it'd be interesting. Uh, who else? Obviously Oleg, right? You
Mm.
know, anybody I think in the 105 wants a shot at Oleg or wants to deserve an opportunity to pull Oleg, right? That right now he's my mountain, right? That's
Yeah.
the mountain I'm climbing for. Is I'm going after Oleg. I don't think anybody's going to be taking that belt from him anytime soon unless it's me. So, yeah.
How good is he, mate?
Well, I don't know. You've seen what he did to Todd.
Mm.
So not many people can do that to Todd. So
Do you feel that's is there any stylistic thing in there? Is there any clash of styles thing, or is that do you think he does that to everyone? Do you think there's people
um
really close?
I think it's definitely a little stylistic. I think he played it very, very smart in his setup with him. The way he set up to control Todd as and then he just pretty much hit Todd right out of position, was able to punch him right to the pad, right? So
Yeah.
but like I don't think I'd be able to pull that do that to Todd. Like just because I don't have the strengths that Oleg does in those
Mhm.
positions that he was able to pull. He did very similar, the same thing to Nugo as well, right? So they just kind of come over and just kind of gave pretty much just like pushed him right to the fucking pad,
Hand looked
right?
phenomenal, didn't it? It really did. His
Yeah,
hand and wrist looked otherworldly strong. Very,
yeah.
very. Yeah,
So
but I do think that
I don't know.
stylistically, I think
I
Todd's
think
the good.
I'd be able to put his I'd be able to definitely compromise his hand and his wrist. I think I would be able to compromise the shit out of him, and I think I definitely know I'd definitely be able to make a match out of it. So I don't think he'd be just grabbing me and punching me to the fucking pad like he has other
No.
people right now. So
What would be your priority in terms of if you could set the matches first to last? Would Yoshi be the first? Yoshi the one you really want the most?
yeah, I'd be game for pulling Yoshi or Rackley, then Nugo, then Oleg. That's how I'd like to see it, or fucking Yoshi or Rackley, then Oleg, or like so. It don't matter to me.
What do you think about Petro Maparin?
I really don't care as long as it's getting me closer to that title shot.
Yeah.
That's all I really give a fuck about right now. And my left, I'm just want to get top 5. If I can if I can be a contender, I'll be a fucking gatekeeper for the left arm 105 kg class for people that are going for a fucking title shot.
Here's one for you, mate.
Well,
So let's say, think the
well,
functional ability game.
unless my left really fucking heals right the fuck up, then fucking watch out, fucking Alizan, right?
Well, mate, joking aside, right? So if you've had that much damage in your left for that long, and if the stem cells worked, do you think your left? Has there ever been a time where you felt pre-injuries and so on? Has there ever been a time where you felt like the left could be parity or better than the right, or not so much?
No, I've always felt that it was my retarded little brother, and I
Okay.
was always just taking him along for a ride. So
Yeah.
that's how it's always felt. I'm starting to question that just because in the last 3 years I've been way more successful in my left than my right has been.
Mm,
So I'm really starting to like maybe my left is my fucking better arm. Maybe I'll be up for a title shot with my left before my right I even get an opportunity, right?
yeah.
So just because how it's continuing to perform, but it's still in my mind, it's always a mental block there, right? So if I can achieve top 5 in the left, I've hit my pinnacle. Everything else is just going to be a huge bonus from there, right? So
I've had you on for an hour, mate. I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to just ask you a few more questions if you've got time. I
yeah, yeah.
wanted to focus in on the Dev thing because there's not many people know him better than you do. You spent an enormous amount of time around Devon. You practiced with him, trained with him for years. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know the lad inside out. You know his head inside out. He works your corner at most of the major events and so on and so on, and the other way around also. This is no joke, the match that he's going into. I mean, you've been around some big boys. Vitali is a big man, isn't he? And he's stupid
He's
fast,
massive human being.
really big. And he looked the biggest I've ever seen him when we were out in Vienna. Where's your sort of head at on this? How do you see it right-handed versus left? Because, like you just described, the difference between the right and the left arm of Dev is undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your head at with it, mate? Who do you see and why?
I see Devin. I I don't. I see a small percentage that he's going to lose. I can see Vitali coming out of the gates like a fucking firecracker, maybe surprising the hell out of him and getting a quick flash pin on him the first fucking round.
Hmm.
Maybe Devin over guessed where he thought he was with him and the antics and shit leading up to him, and he tries to stand up too tall in the first go, and he's able to get a fucking good crunch on him. I
Hmm.
can see that being a possibility, but I can see Devin has way more tricks. He's way smarter with his right than he is his left. He's way stronger with his right than in his left. His right hand right now is absolutely fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I can see if Vitali gives him that much trouble first round, I can see him crouching down a little bit more, getting into his more comfortable position a lot quicker. I don't see Vitali's press being able to do the damage that his left did to Devin's left.
Hmm.
So I can see Vitali taking one round, and then I can see it fucking completely turning around the other way, and it's going to be the Devin show from there. That's what I personally think is going to happen. The only thing that's not working in Devin's favor with this is it's not a title shot. It's only best of 5.
Yeah.
So if Vitali does come out of the gates really fucking
Is that
hot,
is that
and
confirmed, mate? Will it definitely be after because the main events sometimes they've done 7 when it's the main event. Do you think they do
I
that or
don't think I
that's
don't think it is. That was only King of the Table. King of the
right?
Table was all best of 6, right?
Friggin' love to see it be best of 7, but
So, but I think that is one of the only things that may fall into Vitali's favor
hmm,
is that Devin has 3 chances to figure him out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I don't think it's going to take 2 or 3 rounds for Devin to do it. So I think it's going to happen quite quick, and I think Devin's going to make a hell of a fucking statement. Like I know this is a match that Devin's wanted. He's wanted this match for a long fucking time. You know that. Like
Yeah, really,
he's,
really. Mate, I've wanted it. No, I think the world. I mean, it's got. It had to happen.
mm.
I'm a bit
And
devastated that's the case. I
I'm
thought it was
personally
7 rounds.
glad it's happening now and it's not happening 2 years ago because I think Devin's in a way better fucking position and way stronger and has way more capability of being
Mm,
able to give Vitali a lot more trouble now than he did 2 years ago, even with Vitali being 50, 60 pounds heavier now than he was then.
yeah,
I just see it. I just see it being way more advantage Devin now than it would have been 2 years ago.
yeah. You've actually educated me on something, mate. I honestly thought it was 7 rounds. I thought it'd be 7 rounds with the old main event and so on. I thought that was a rule. Excuse my mistake if that's the case. What a shame. I'm a bit gutted about that. If I'm honest, it is what it is, I
Yeah.
suppose. But yeah, I agree that over a shorter duration, if it is indeed a shorter duration, that is uh, that is more difficult because the speed of Lilliton is something to behold. He's for a massive bloke in the way that he is. He's friggin' yeah,
Oh, he's super, super explosive.
very very explosive. Gets his body around the table really well.
Yeah.
Uh, Dangerous dude. I've got Devon, but I think it's the tight match. I think it's margins. You know what I mean? 55-45, very very tight. And obviously, I'd like to see Devon win. I'd like to. I would, however,
And
like to see.
I think Devin losing the way he did in his left is definitely going to be in Devin's favor when he goes to pull him with the right.
Why?
Well, just because you have that mental part where it's holy shit, he fucking embarrassed. I can't take him lightly because Devin knows his right is way better than Devin's left is.
Mm,
Devin knows Vitali's left is way better than his fucking right is, or it's on paper it's better than his right. You know what I mean? So I think if Devin was to go in there and he would have fucking ended up beating Vitali, Devin would have been like, I can kind of sit back and relax this next month. I don't need to push it so hard.
mm,
He's like, I got him. I got him. There's no way he's going to be able to touch me because Devin feels that his right is way more above his left.
yeah.
And I think with the Devin losing the way he did, where it he slowed him down a bit, but it wasn't really a close match. Like it didn't go one win Devin, one win Vitali, one. Devin got his fucking ass handed to him. He got
Mm,
fucking swept 4-0. You know what I mean?
yeah.
As much as I don't like saying it, you don't like hearing it, and other people don't like hearing or saying it. That's what fucking happened. You know what I
No.
mean? You look at the end results, 4-0. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I think Devin's going to be coming in a lot more motivated, and he's going to be taking it not like he wasn't going to be taking it serious already, but I think now it's also something personal, right?
Mm,
Devin wants this win that'll help him make him feel better for the loss with his left. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And in reality, the,
Like
the left
Devin
landed in
wants
his
to
lap, didn't
fucking go in there and embarrass him. Devin doesn't even want it to be a close match. Devin wants
it?
to
Mm.
go in there and 3-0 this fucking Giants fucking ass, just like he 4-0'd him in his left. He's
You know, the
that much
interesting
more
thing,
motivated to fucking smack him, right?
I always figured, this is just me again, and time will tell. I always figured that Laletin's right and left, I think, are probably parity in my mind.
Well, they're close.
I
It's
think
just
it's more the residual level on the left across the division is not as high. That's my
mhm.
sort of take on it.
And
And
I think that's with every division.
yeah,
I
I
think
agree with
that's
you.
everywhere. Majority of the people are right-handed arm wrestlers. They're
I
more
agree.
finesseful. They're
Yeah,
stronger.
more options,
It's
just better. Yeah,
yeah,
but I do feel I agree entirely that the gulf between left and right arm for Dev and Vitali, Devon's got a much bigger gulf between his left and right. I mean, it's not close.
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
and I thought that I've got in my mind I see Vitali as parity, so that's where I'm sort of basing my. It's going to be tight, but I've got Devon winning
Yeah,
um, because I think he'll have enough options there. The only real concern that I've got is that speed. The
Yeah.
speed is a friggin' problem. It
It's a
really is.
hard thing to deal with, right?
Oh my God.
So,
On a
and
man that big.
but Devin is really good at dealing with the speed.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good. He's pulled how many people that were fucking retarded fucking quick, and he's able to almost hit the brakes every fucking time.
Mm.
You know, like he's a lot better at hitting the brakes with somebody their speed than majority of the people out there are, right? So,
I do believe that if Devon had
and
won the
that's and
left
the
arm,
majority of that is the way how he takes control in the setup, right?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and he'll be
So,
much more confident doing that, am I right? Without a doubt. And there's a lot
oh,
more,
100%,
without a doubt. So
100%.
I do agree with a lot of that. I think if Devon had won the left hand, it'd have sucked the soul out of this match. In terms of from an anticipation perspective, I don't think people would have believed in it, and I think it's bigger because Devon got beat on the left. I really
Oh,
do.
100%.
Yeah.
100% it is.
I think the guys who want to see Devon lose will be out in force and good on them. It's what keeps the thing boiling. It's what keeps the
Yep.
eyes on there. If and Devon stepped into the sort of heel role so many times, and he's got that polarizing nature about him. So I think this is a massive match now because you've got real belief in Lalatin, and justifiably so. Dude's a frigging monster. You know, we
Well,
don't we
he's
don't
like
know who he is.
his right is no like look what he's done his last, I think his toughest match he's had was Morzov.
Yeah,
That was a fucking war. You know
the
what I mean?
lefty.
But besides that,
Mm-hmm.
Vitali was literally just smacking everybody to the fucking pad,
Mm-hmm.
you know, quicker than they walked up to the fucking table,
It's funny, isn't it? Because even if we were talking about it earlier, right? But even if Devon wins the right arm, I still want to see Laletin pull it against Levan. I do.
Oh, I would too. Yeah.
100% want to see that match because I do think he sets a different set of challenges. Totally different set of challenges. And I think he's really dangerous for anyone right-handed. I think he's a problem. So there's so many matches that are intriguing as hell in that division right now, mate. There really is. It's exciting times. And we're only, what are we? Like about a month away. So go quick. It will go
Yep.
quick. There's not, and we've got Dev on tomorrow night. For anybody that's in the chat, if you're just joining us, I haven't been keeping up with the chat, so that should have been. Let's just check I've not missed anything. Oh shit, I have missed something. Benji Mack has come in with a super chat. See you guys in Germany. Benji, hope you're good, mate. Top man. Go over and check out Benji's channel if you're not subbed. And while you're there, get over to Matt Mass channel and get subbed there as well. Matt, give him a shameless plug, mate, of your social media.
What's that? Sorry.
Give them a shameless plug on your social media. Where can these guys find you? Where can they come check out some Matt
Oh,
Master?
Instagram, Matt Mask, Facebook, Matt Mask, YouTube, Matt Mask, and then athlete page on Facebook is Matt Wildhorse Mask. So
And merch, where
yeah.
can they get it?
Merch, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. I can pull up how much shipping would cost you. And if you're happy with that, you can PayPal me outside of Canada. And if you're in Canada, you transfer, and then I'll stick her in the mail, send her your way. So
Top man.
yeah.
So let's have a
And
look what
then
we
yeah,
got here.
if you can't get your fucking ass to Cologne in April, make sure you buy the pay-per-view. evwsports.live, right? Promo code MASK, MASK.
Mate, we get all the classy people on here. Slice Sharp Grey Steel Point. Nice short name. With a super chat. But Devon will lose and Geordie will peg him. Thanks for that. I mean, what can you say? Amazing, mate. Thanks for that.
They got to try everything once, I guess.
Listen, we get them all on here, son. We get
How
them
do
all.
you know? How do you know Jody didn't peg him after he lost with his fucking left hand?
You, you never do know. Carolyn Looms with the super chat. Carolyn, hope you're well. Oh, for you, Matt. Here we go. Hi, Matt. Do you think Zach Monroe, the Red Deer assassin, will be at East versus West next year? Great interview.
I think there's possibility. I think he's got to get his ass to some qualifying events so they can actually see him. But he's got a hell of a lot of potential, right?
Yeah, that definitely helps. That
You
definitely
know,
helps. But
we got
Benji's just
we
put
got
your
we got a lot of dudes that have a lot of potential, but if you ain't gonna get recognized sitting at home on your fucking couch.
Dude, what was
So,
the kid? I always forget his name. Lad who used to pull. He was in the. He won the Northern Regional WL. Your guy, lightweight, strongest. What was he called?
oh, Randy Bayers.
Bayers.
Yeah.
Love him. What happened to him?
He they ended up moving back to Nova Scotia, and they ended up having a kid,
Okay,
and nothing else matters in life now.
fair enough. Because
Yeah. So
he.
I think he's starting to dibble dabble a little bit, but he's concentrating on family. It's a different type of dedication and
Yeah,
for the sport now than what it was before, right? So
yeah. He was a strong boy.
I think people are, if they're not willing or think in their mind that they can set the 10 to 20 hours a week aside
Yeah,
for it to concentrate on it, in their mind they're like, it's not worth it, right? So
interesting. I always wondered what happened with that kid. He was strong as shit. Very, very solid lad. And there's more to come. Red Deer, Canada, the home of Matt Mask. And you never know. We might see some of these stars coming from Matt's club start to emerge, get themselves onto that stage. All I'll tell you is this: Dakota and Sean are going to be in Arm Wars Iron House. And I can't wait. Sean Crowther is so overdue. What a top dude. Dakota, I love him. Looks like a 1980s porn star, but I love him. He's
yeah.
great, isn't he? His match with Brian Johnson was an absolute banger. What a
Yeah, it was
match!
a really good match. So
He's an
Sean, he
absolute
brings the fire every time he steps up to
dude.
that table. So
Sean's ace. He's it
yeah.
to me. Said it before. Sean Crowther is real arm wrestling.
Hmm.
That mother is everywhere. He's everywhere. He's anywhere. He sits in the background. Don't get anybody's face. Don't blow it out. But dude can arm wrestle, and he's a great lad. And he's 100% in, and I love that. I think
Yeah.
he's quality. Massive Sean Crowther fan. I think he's
Yeah.
ace.
Good guy to have in your corner. So
Dude, and he just, yeah, and he's got yours. That's for damn sure.
yeah.
No doubt about it. Like you say, close knit, the whole crew,
Hmm.
close knit, mate. Matt, been fantastic having you on. Thanks for taking the time out on your Sunday, mate. Really appreciate it. And I know
Yeah,
that
you
people
bet.
in the chat will also. Want to wish you the very best of luck getting ready for this show, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing you do what you do. And I do believe it's going to be an absolute banger. I think it's going to
Hmm.
be a quality matchup. So hopefully the stem cells work.
Right.
And yeah, you're feeling good going in there. Thanks for your time, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Guys,
Right
as I
on you.
say in the chat, get over and follow this guy. Show him some love. He is one of the most endearing and well loved, well respected arm wrestlers in the game. Definitely one of the most exciting. The Wild Horse, Matt Mask. Go over, show him some love, guys. And if this is your first time here on Supernatural Strength, please hit that like button before you go. Give us a share, give us a sub, and we will see you tomorrow night back on here at around the same time for a one-on-one interview with a man this fella knows very well. No Limits. Devin Larratt will be on here tomorrow night, guys. So keep your eyes open for that around about the same time. We'll be back with Dev. Until we are on then, we'll see you later. Biggity bong with the fluffers. Bye
See all you motherfuckers in Germany. Okay?
bye. Matt, thanks, pal.
Yeah, yeah,
Good,
no worries.
good to catch.